What's going on, people of the internet? It's DJ Tricey Trice, and I am here with a brand new episode of the Post Up, my live stream show where I just post up and talk about sports on the internet. I got a new day, y'all. I used to do this on Mondays, but now I'm figuring out that Fridays is just a better day for me. It's a better day for sports. Going into NFL weekends, there's NFL all during the week, but it's a good time to just take a break and talk about it. But also it's good for basketball. And also, I just want to live stream on Fridays when I'm off work and before my wife get home. You feel me? Like that's the best peak time to talk about sports. I'm accumulating as much information as I want to right now. I got ESPN playing in the studio. It's just a good vibe. So Fridays are my new days. I added Instagram to my streams. Twitch is used to it. YouTube is used to it. Facebook is used to it. But I'm on Instagram now. So welcome to the party, y'all. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I want to talk about today. Most of it WNBA because that is coming to a close. I got my playoff predictions as well, a little bit of Raiders. And then, y'all, it's 32 days until the Lakers start back playing basketball. So we are in a great spot in sports, right? You at the end of women's basketball, about to be the beginning of men's basketball, and NFL is the buffer there. Let's not forget, too, that college football is on. I went to Purdue. Not huge in the college scene with watching football and keeping up with football because honestly, it's too many teams and it's too much time, and it's really in an NBA at that time. That's the beginning of NBA season. You know it's jumping, you know it's popping. So I usually don't pay attention to college football, but I've been watching them Colorado Buffs because of Coach Prime. Of course, why not? He's got our eyes on the TV. I've been watching the Buffs just kind of in the background, but here recently, I have been watching more of the college football. I got the Stanford game on right now in the studio. It's just playing in the background. I got my eyes on it, but I won't be like really keeping y'all updated on that. Let's jump right into WNBA, y'all. The Sparks have completed the season. We're not going to the playoffs. This is probably the first time I can ever remember where the Sparks ended the season last in the WNBA. And correct me if I'm wrong, people of the internet, but I haven't seen too many times where the Sparks were this dead last. You feel me? The Indiana Fever had 8 losing seasons in order to get the roster that they got to secure that. I think they're in the 6th seed in the playoffs. So I don't want us to get all the way there. I don't think we're going to get that desperate. I don't think it's going to be 8 continuous seasons of this kind of things. This was just a perfect storm. Coach Miller talks about a lot. Unintended consequences. These things just kind of happen. So we finished it out, not the greatest, but the Sparks did finish with a win, finished the season 8-20. Where we at? 8 and my bad, y'all. I promise I got this. What's the actual number? I'm gonna check my app. But they beat the Minnesota Lynx as the last team, which is huge. Again, the Sparks play way, way, way better when we play better teams. 8-32, y'all. So the Sparks ended 8-32. We play better against the teams. All of our wins have been against Las Vegas Aces. We played the New York Liberty in 1-on-1. We got one. I think we probably beat the Mercury or something. But either way it goes, we beat most of the top teams in those. The teams where it was getting competitive at the bottom, we really didn't show up and play that well for. Again, our personnel was limited. We had hardship players most of the season. So I'm kind of glad, to be honest, that we just put out of our misery and we can enjoy the playoffs in peace because we weren't going to be a part of it. We were out of the running a long time ago. I had that toxic positivity hope that it was going to come after the Olympic break, but it just didn't. The cars didn't fall where we needed them to fall, y'all. So the Sparks are out of it. The last home game, let's talk about that. That's where BG had that crazy moment where she wanted to try to DDT Rakia. She was completely wrong. Check my reels, my shorts, if you on YouTube for my commentary on that. But the long and short of it is BG was wrong. Okay. Rakia was just defending herself. I'm glad there were no suspensions. So she got to play that last game because she absolutely went off and helped the team secure the W against the Lynx. Azarae Stevens in that final home game actually addressed the crowd. She got on the microphone and was like, hey, y'all, I know it's been rough. But thank y'all so much for sticking with me. Thank y'all so much for continuing to come out to Sparks games. We promise in this offseason we're going to get better and we're going to come back a better team. I liked that touch. Again, Azarae Z. Stevens is one of my favorite players. I actually interviewed her at that last home game before the game on courtside. I'll be dropping that on my YouTube channel. So that just made it feel all better because we're one of the OGs in the WNBA, and you don't expect the Sparks seasons to fall as flat as these past 2 seasons have fallen. So it just felt good to hear from a player who's got that extension, who'll be there next year, who's committed to our success. So big shouts out to Azare Z. Stevens for that. Today, another big thing popped off. Laysha Clarendon actually retired, y'all. So big shouts out to Lay. Great career. We wish you all the best, Lay. Much love from everybody on the Sparks, especially last season, just going off, doing the things, playing with grit. Had a phenomenal WNBA season. Wish you all the best of luck in whatever endeavors you come to next. I'm a huge proponent of shifting careers, y'all. I'm talking to y'all about sports because I shifted my career from DJing, to be quite honest. So mental health is always first. You don't got nothing else to prove. If you don't want to continue to do something, you can always change your path, reinvent yourself, and that's what we see in Lay do. Congrats to them on a great WNBA season. Check the WNBA app. They put together like a little reel short for them, and it's wonderful. So check it out. Big shouts out to Lay. I'll be giving my full debrief on all things Sparks in the I don't want to say final episode of the Spark because I'm gonna still be talking my Sparks basketball in there, as we already heard some gossip that Lee is not coming back, and I saw that on X. So anybody in the comments, if you heard that Lee was not coming back and anybody can verify that, let me know, because the statement just really didn't sound like Lee. I'm not saying it's not true. I just don't know. And we've seen her develop so much from the beginning and the end of the season that I just refuse to believe that she told us she don't want to come back and she want to go to a contending team, because we are a contending team next season. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We got Rakia. Look at Rakia, how she playing. Definitely would have been in the Rookie of the Year runnings if the team did a little bit better. But anyway, neither here nor there. I'll be giving my full debrief on everything Sparks in my next episode dropping this weekend of my podcast, The Spark. And you can check that out on my YouTube channel, or if you watch me on any platform, it's in the link in my bio. Okay, cool. That's all the Sparks talk. Now, we talked about that Phoenix Mercury game and Sparks game, but another thing that all of my media friends was talking about, and shouts out to Jackie Ray, I see you joined there, was that this might be the last time we actually see Diana Taurasi play, because her team, the Phoenix Mercury, have been teasing that this might be it. We would all hope that Diana Taurasi would want to do some kind of last dance tour, final season, so that and I was talking to Michael Matthew about that. We will hope that she would do that, but I'm not sure that Diana Taurasi is that person. I'm not sure if DT wanted a whole big fanfare to go around and congratulate her. She's had a great career. I think she's gonna do commentary after this, to be honest. She probably got that little taste of that podcast she was doing and was like, oh, easy. This is my career after this. And that'll be a great career because she is a phenomenal basketball player. Definitely the GOAT in women's sports. White Mamba, Kobe used to call her. It's just Diana Taurasi has had such a great career. So hats off to DT if that's the last time that we got to see you. My wife came out to the game. I made sure to get close tickets for that. Got some great footage, because when legends decide that they just want to hang it up, she's 43 years old, y'all. I can't believe Diana Taurasi is 43 years old, and we still like, man, she should give us one more year. She's still a bucket, but she can decide to just walk away from the game because she just got that last gold medal. I don't know how much more I would be wanting to give to the game too. I would want to sit down, chill with the money I got, talk behind the microphone. I just want to do that right now, to be quite honest. I could retire to this right now today. So I hope that Diana Taurasi goes into commentating the games, maybe in some of these other leagues too. Maybe we see her on AU or Unrivaled. We see the legend move around a little bit. I don't know. Maybe she probably get a coaching job. I'm not sure what her goals are, but if that was the last time seeing DT, big shouts out to you. You had a phenomenal career. Hats off to you, man. Just go status. Let's jump to WNBA expansion, y'all. The WNBA is expanding quickly. We got a new team coming next year. That's the Golden State Valkyrie, who are going to be the companion team of the Golden State Warriors, if you will. So California's getting a new team. That'll be an in-state rivalry that's interesting. They are starting next year. I'm still unclear as to how the picks will work. I know each team gets to protect 4 players, but they can poach from other teams. I got to get the clear on that. Maybe I'll bring somebody on the show who actually knows, like Sabrina from the Athletics, to just come on and just talk to us about how that actually is going to work. But so Golden State is going to be 2025. 2026 is Toronto. That team hasn't been named yet, but excited about that. So we got the next one after that. And they just announced last week that Portland is getting a team again. Now, the Portland Fire was the previous WNBA team there, and that was the shortest stint of a WNBA franchise with just 3 years. So I'm not sure if they're going to bring back the Fire, if they're going to name it something else, but excited that we're getting 3 new WNBA teams in the next 3 years. This is huge. The explosion of women's sports is here. There are a lot of college players who are getting a lot of shine. We waiting for Juju to come out. We talking about Paige, which, hopefully the Sparks can get Paige with that pick, but neither here nor there. We'll talk about that on the podcast. The Spark. Kiki Inferent. I mean, there's so many. Hannah Hidalgo. You got a lot of people, and I'm glad that there's going to be places for them to go because there's still a lot of great vets in the league, like Odyssey Sims, who ended up with the Sparks on a hardship contract, who can ball. The vets deserve a spot. The newbies deserve a spot to play, and I'm glad we'll be up to 15 teams by 2027. That's my quick soapbox there. Let me drink some water, man. I just been going. Crazy week too. I'm sure y'all experiencing the same thing because Mercury in retrograde and it's Virgo season and all these different things that's happening. But anyway, Asia Wilson has broken many records this year. The single season scoring record broken. The single season rebound record broken. She is definitely going to be the MVP. I'm not sure how the votes go. I don't know who voted her fourth that one time that people keep talking about, but there is no way that Asia Wilson is going to leave this season without being the MVP. The only way maybe is if for some reason the Aces fumble in the playoffs and her team does not win the championship, then it'll be harder to argue at that point. But I believe unequivocally that Asia Wilson is the MVP. Are we kidding here? Who breaks those kind of, and she's still going. This ain't even the end. That's just in-season records. I'm excited to see what she and the Aces do in the playoffs, and I'm going to give y'all my playoff predictions in a little bit, but that girl is unstoppable. Asia Wilson has changed the game of basketball. A1 MVP status, so hats off to Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces. On that same note, y'all, it's time for us to sit down and admit Caitlin Clark is getting Rookie of the Year. I don't care how you slice the pie. I don't care what kind of statistics you want to bring into the game. Caitlin Clark is getting Rookie of the Year. She has helped to pull the Indiana Fever from the abyss that they were in. Kelsey Mitchell has been on they leading scorer for a while now, holding it down. They got another number 1 pick, Aaliyah Boston. They still struggled. They weren't good enough. They needed more personnel around it. And Caitlin Clark was that missing piece in that point guard spot. She has been killing it with assists, especially after the Olympic break. She come back with a whole new attitude. She had got the rhythm. She got a chance to practice. Caitlin Clark is winning Rookie of the Year. As much as we want to talk about Angel Reese, her team didn't make it, which I called as well. And on my Instagram story, I put on there, I was right, because the Atlanta Dream just had more experience. We knew their coach was going to get them there. Tina Charles is on that team. Alicia Gray is on that team. I mean, you got so many stars on that Atlanta Dream that it was just going to become overwhelming when it was time for that playoff push, especially with the Chicago Sky not being healthy. And I don't even know how the Washington Mystics got in the mix. I don't even know why they would be going for the playoffs. They had such a middle of the road. I guess they fighting to the end. But them couple games that they won, it was like, all right, y'all was gonna need some personnel. And honestly, it would have got you more lottery picks if you had a tank. But I don't want to subscribe to the tank for this person or the script of it all. But it's looking like the Sparks is getting that number 1 pick. We finished dead last, and we need some people to help us out in that roster. And I'm glad that we're gonna come back completely different. But Asia Wilson MVP, Caitlin Clark Rookie of the Year, most improved player, in my humble opinion, De'Erica Hamby. She doubled every number and every stat across the board. I just don't know if there are any players. I know Dejanay Carrington is also in the running for that, but my humble opinion is De'Erica Hamby. Let's move on to my playoff predictions, y'all. So the playoffs have been announced. The first bracket, let me look on my phone. I got it. I got my predictions written down, but I need to look at the actual bracket. So the first round is best of 3 for those of y'all who don't know. The 1 and the 8 seed are matched up, and the first seed is New York Liberty matched up against the Atlanta Dream. I'm giving that to New York 2-1. I think the Atlanta Dream can sneak one game in. If it's not 2-1, it's gonna be 3-0 in favor of New York. Unpopular opinion, but that's where I'm going with that. I think New York is going to dominate the New York Atlanta series. Moving on to the next one. Second pick, Minnesota Lynx. 7th pick, seed, I should say. 2nd seed, Lynx. 7th seed, Mercury. 3-0 Lynx. There's no way that the Mercury are going to get one game on the Lynx. That's just my humble opinion. Also, too, the Mercury came in at that last home game. BG wanted to do all of that. They wanted to beat us. I wish y'all nothing but losses moving forward. Petty. I understand that, but no, you don't get to do the Sparks like that and move on. You're out of there. So I think Minnesota is going to dominate that. Let's go to the 4th seed, the Aces. 5th seed, Seattle. This is going to be a great series to watch of basketball. I don't think Seattle is going to give it up. Skylar Diggins is very fiery. Breanna Stewart and I'm sorry, not Breanna Stewart. We're talking about Asia Wilson. Sorry, the Aces. The Aces are in the 4th seed, but they have experience. These are back-to-back champions who know how to put the clamps on in the playoffs. I think the Seattle Storm are going to give them a good run for the money, but it's going 2-1 in favor of the Aces. There's no way the Aces are getting knocked out in the first round. If so, that would be one of the biggest upsets, in my opinion, in WNBA history, if they don't do that. I think the Aces are so close to doing the three-peat that it would be crazy for them not to fight like heck to make that happen. So I got the Aces moving on there. 3rd seed, Connecticut Sun against the 6th seed, Fever. I'm giving it to the Sun. 2-1. I think the Fever will be able to sneak by one game because they're going to be physical. They're going to be complaining. They're going to play team ball. But the Connecticut Sun did not come this far to lose. If I honestly, before the season even started, I said that the Connecticut Sun and the New York Liberty, picking up from where they were last season, both will be in the finals. New York and Connecticut. That's who I think. And I told this to Alyssa Thomas when she was I said, listen, y'all done came into crypto.com arena and beat us. Y'all got to go win that championship. I told her that to her face. I'm hoping that her, DeWanna Bonner, Dejanay Carrington, the whole squad, the coach, everybody at Connecticut can finally win that championship. I don't root for the Liberty. I really know that it's the right thing too, because they're playing like they're going to win, but I just don't trust it. I don't believe it for some reason. And it's not because I'm not a New York Liberty fan or I'm hating or anything. I think when the going gets tough and it gets rough out there, they play different. And I think that Connecticut might have more heart to get past that. So that's my first round of playoffs predictions. You already heard who I said in the finals. I'll come back on here next week after we get a little bit of the playoff play in there and make some more predictions and let you know my feedback from there. But that's who I got. Moving into the NFL to wrap up the show. Raider Nation. I am in my freshman year inside of Raider Nation. Been having a great time. Been wearing my Raiders merch around. People been coming around and saying, you got that right stuff? Okay, Raiders. We going crazy out here. The Raiders are currently 1-1. This week we play the Panthers on Sunday, and I think we're going to move to 2-1. If we don't beat the Panthers, I'm going to be salty. I'm going to be hot. That's going to be my first video of I don't know how we even lost that game because the Panthers stink right now. They are not good. And I think that the Raiders, the defense is just too much. Crosby, I think he probably going to have 5-6 sacks come Sunday. That's just me. That's just what I'm saying. I think we're going to go that way. And the final reminder before I get off of here, y'all, 32 days until Laker basketball. I can't wait to see Bron and Bronny, senior and junior, bouncing ball down the court. the American dream. What more can we ask here? I'm excited to see it. A lot of people are already making jokes. I don't care what y'all say. I think it is going to be a good time watching them play, watching some of the preseason games as well. So stay locked in. Again, this post up is moved to Friday at 5 p.m. PST. I'm going to be live streaming from 5 to 6. Maybe not the whole hour. Like, I'm about to get off here right now. I ain't been on here no whole hour. I've been on here, what, 20 minutes. I got the job done. Got to talk about my stuff. But this is the time that I'm free, that work is over. My wife ain't home yet. The game's on in the studio. Might have had me a cocktail. Took my dog to the dog park already. I'm chilling. So this is the time where I will address the people. You can think of this as like a sports late night show, if you will. It's only going to get better. You can watch it on Instagram, YouTube, X, Facebook, my personal page, my business page. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere all at once. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, whatever, heart, send it to your friend, do the thing. I'm DJ Tricey Trice, and this has been the Post Up. Make sure you subscribe and like all my stuff on every platform. That's DJ TRICEYD. Look at India. Wrap it up. I'm coming home early. You see, my wife is in the comments. I told y'all. DJ TRICEYTRICE. I will see y'all again next week. But make sure you keep it locked on my YouTube channel because that's where I be hanging out, y'all. This has been the Post Up. Have a good week. Weekend.